This is a quick tutorial on how to use Adsviser 2.0. This is a fantastic tool to be able to dissect other things in your market that are actually working in as much as your competitors' Facebook ads. Really dissect and drill down and actually create your own Facebook ads very quickly and successfully. So I'm going to show you how to use this wonderful tool very effectively. So the first thing you're going to do is search ads. So you just click on this button right here, and then it's going to show you some of the top performing ads. Now, if you're in the US, which I'm guessing most of you are, you're going to want to go over here and click the US button. You want to keep it on all buttons unless, of course, you have, like, for example, let's say you're promoting a webinar, okay? You know that your competitors are actually going to do the Learn More button typically, or Sign Up button. And then, of course, if you're doing a video ad, Watch More is always a popular option. If you're trying to sell coaching, anything like that, you're going to go Book Now. I tend to leave it as all buttons, though, for most ads. And the reason I do that is really just because it gives me a wide variety of what's out there. Now, before we go into placements, industries, emoticons, anything like that, because you can actually see how many people have liked a certain status or gender or anything like that, what I typically do is leave it always at all placements just so I can see where placements are most effective. I kind of already know, but for the sake of this training, we'll just leave it this way. And then all industries. So let's say, for example, we wanted to run a real estate ad. Okay, so let's say we wanted to run an ad on real estate. So we would say buy a house, real estate, San Antonio real estate. Okay, what this is going to do is show me all of the ads that are most effective using these keywords in my local area. And I would say generally you want to put in about 3 keywords per search. And then it's loading. So now that we see what the ads are that are currently out there for real estate, we want to dissect a little bit further and see which ones are really working. So, one that has just 1 like or something like that is probably not going to be the best way to go. But if we have something like this one here that is actually 354 likes on an ad, what we're going to do is click on it. Then we're going to start dissecting it a little bit. So it's going to tell us, first off, the URL that it's redirecting to, so you can actually go and check out the ad itself, where the ad is placed, which is going to be in the news feed only. So when you're creating your ad campaign on Facebook, you would select just the news feed for your ad placement. Don't do the right column, don't do anything like that. And then what fan page it's connected to, so you can go and check out that fan page. Type of targeting, lookalike audience. Now this is something with Facebook that's pretty cool. You can go into Audience Insights and actually upload your email list, and it will extrapolate all of the data that you have from all of your email list users and create an audience that looks like them, which is what's going to help your conversion rate, because these are already people who have bought, purchased, or expressed extreme interest in what you have to offer. So you're going to, instead of going through the very tumultuous pain in the butt process of figuring out targeting on Audience Insights, you're going to create a lookalike audience in Audience Insights so that you can create an ad that's going to have a lot more higher conversion. Now you already have, a couple different things as far as choosing verbiage for this. And, it's going to ask, serious about buying a new home in 2016, check out these 2 must-see homes. So what they're doing is they're taking 2 houses, they're promoting those homes, and then just, keeping it short, sweet, simple, to the point, and then have people clicking through to that ad. So you've got, things where it tells you detailed targeting information. They're wanting to reach people who may be similar to their customers, so they're reaching out to people who are in their local area, and again, people who are on their email list. And this is the other thing to pay attention to. It's going to say days running. So when you want to figure out how many days you need to run an ad campaign for, as you can see here, what really happens is you see a boost after day 7. It's a pretty massive boost, right? So Facebook's going to take about 7 days to optimize your ad. So you want to keep that in mind when you're creating your campaign. But it's going to go from, 7 days all the way up to 10 days. You see a big jump towards the end of that campaign. That's just something Facebook has done. You don't have much else other than country. You don't have gender or age because they did a lookalike audience with this. And then it also tells you exactly how much money they spent on this ad, which was $316 in total. So you know what your budget should be in order to get results that are similar to this. Now on this one, this is a very similar ad, also a lookalike audience, also newsfeed ads. So you're starting to see a trend here. And then how many days they ran the ad, the age range, because they did add additional demographic targeting for that. So they're targeting people between the ages of 35 and 54. So if you're doing something similar, this is very important for you to note because this was a very good performing ad. As you can see here, once again, you've got that jump after day 7, which makes a big, big difference. So about 10 days running was the average for this. And then the total amount that they spent on this campaign, which was $374.40. I'm going to show you a different niche that you can look at as well. So another big industry is going to be the health supplements industry. So we just put in supplements in the search bar, left all of these the same, just targeted United States, and we start looking and seeing, okay, well, hey, what's working? Well, obviously this is working if it's got 6,600 likes. And that's something that, you know, you're going to be able to convert with that. So again, this one specified newsfeed, ad, mobile, and then this fan page, which was Green Smoothie Girl. You have, you know, all of the verbiage that they used and how they ran that ad. So you can actually go to the page and see it. You can go to the fan page and dissect it there as well. And this person really didn't do much targeting at all with this ad, but that seemed to work for them. So they just did a very basic ad, put it on the mobile device only. They didn't do desktop newsfeed. They didn't do right column, only the newsfeed mobile ad. How many days they ran the ad. So you can see here they ran it for 30 days. And again, I've got to draw your attention to after day 7, you see that boost. So it does make a big difference. And then they spent $5,200 on this ad campaign. So again, this is going to give you kind of insight for budgeting. Here's another example of a supplement ad that actually performed quite well with a lot less ad spend than the one that we just looked at. So you've got here their URL where they're being directed to and they're clicking on it, where they're placing it. This was just newsfeed ads, not necessarily mobile. And then the fan page that you can visit as well. How many days they ran the ad? They ran it for 10 days. And they really didn't do a lot of targeting on it, but they spent $201. Had over 135 interactions and tons of comments on this one as well. Okay, so here's another example of another type of fitness ad where you've got all of this information here. Was a very good performing ad, where they wanted their ad placement to be, and where they actually messed up on this one was they didn't have it linked direct to their website. So that's a problem that I would highly recommend you don't make that same mistake. But they actually did a retargeting campaign where they took the Facebook tracking pixel and put it on their site so that they're extrapolating that data from people who are clicking through to their site and then retargeting those people, which is what's really going to help you with conversion. Again, it tells you how many days this ad ran. It ran 15 days, and they spent a total of $229.80. You can see 2 similar ads down here for different things that they tried to do with it. And really, their biggest mistake was not targeting. So like on this one, if you see how much more their ad spend was on this original ad, which was $668, it was really their retargeting efforts that worked quite a bit better. And they spent literally a quarter of the amount of money that they spent the first time just by getting an audience and not really doing a whole lot of interest targeting, but saying, okay, we're going to bring people to us and then we're going to retarget those people for higher conversions. So it's another way of doing it. It's pretty powerful. So I would recommend definitely trying that. Your 2 most successful ad campaigns will always be the retargeting campaign using the Facebook tracking pixel, and it will also be the lookalike campaign for audiences. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done with Adsviser so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's say you wanted to dissect some video ads. Easy to do. You just click on the video ads tab. I'm going to leave this pretty open, but what I did change here, and you can change this on any search that you run, is the date range, because I want to say, okay, what have been the most successful video ads in the last 30 days? So we did a quick search for Star Wars, and this is what we got with the video ad. So they used targeting, and they wanted to reach people who are interested in shopping based on activities such as liking pages or clicking on ads. Now, because they used Star Wars, what they did was they targeted Star Wars as an interest. And that's something that you can see just by using the keyword up here on one of the things that they utilize. But you can also go in here and see that they targeted females primarily as well. So they did a little bit of gender targeting in addition to everything else. Now, this is something else I wanted to draw your attention to, because if you put in just something like, you go into all industries, you can actually go in here and see some of the absolutely best performing Facebook ads, view the stats for them, right? But it's going to tell you where they targeted to, specifically an area, whether they targeted female or male. So it's giving you a little bit more, and it's telling you what people are interested in. So if they're interested already in PBS, they're going to target based on PBS. So it's giving you all of the data that you need to extrapolate in order to take out a very successful Facebook ad. So like this one for Cigna, they targeted New York to male. This one, they targeted Handmaid's Tale. They did, New York male. A lot of these are very specifically targeted, both based on age and gender, and what they're doing with that. So it's another great way to really kind of drill down and say, okay, I want to see what's out there, and I can check it, and go from there. Now, this is an interesting thing that you can do as well. When you take out an ad on Facebook, you can also take out an ad on Instagram, and this is going to give you some insight, especially in the hashtags on different ads that are working on Instagram. So, for example, this cell phone case alone has a ton of different likes. They've got a link to the website here, and then they've also, tagged a few different things that are related, and then taken these hashtags. So if you're selling something similar to this, it's giving you some insight into what hashtags are really working. This one is a good one too. So you can, you see they're using the Shop Now button. They're doing Valentine's Day special. And by the way, this is also really important to note. A lot of these hashtags can also be used as keywords when you're doing a targeted Facebook campaign via interests. So that's really, really important as well. But you can literally just scroll through these, and it's going to tell you what's working, what's not working, and what you need to do to make your ads work. So it's really giving you a lot of data to work with and create an ad that's going to work. Now, the social ad spy is a cool tool as well, because it's going to allow you to kind of spy on exactly what your competitors are doing, so that you can adjust both your organic social media strategy, but also adjust your ads to look a little bit more like theirs, so that you're performing very well. This is a huge time saver. So you've got different things that people are posting in groups. You've got different things that, people are posting here. And, you get to see how much engagement your competitors are getting and how much reach they have. And then, giving mention on other sites as well. So there's a ton of different things on here where you can actually look and see, okay, what's working this way, and then go back to Adsviser and actually search that keyword. So, for example, with the social ad spy, we looked up Hootsuite. So let's go back to Adsviser. Let me show you how to use it. So here we typed in a competitor, and we looked up Hootsuite, and we're looking at their different ads. So you can see, wow, where did they target? What did they put? So they did this one specific to right column ads, okay? And they didn't even link it to a fan page, but they did target New York, and they did target ages 35 to 54, because they know that those are going to be the users who are actually using desktop or laptop more often as opposed to mobile. So that is the reason that they took that ad placement out in that column. So it's giving you some insight there as well. Now you have another type of ad that's out there. So you've got their 3 different versions on this one, okay? Now we're going to look at this ad. So you can see here what they did was they have their Hootsuite link, They're on the newsfeed ads. They're going to their Hootsuite fan page. They've linked it to that. They've created a lookalike audience, again, via their email list, uploading that onto Facebook because that's the best conversions. And those are going to be the people who look alike what Hootsuite already has as an audience, so that those ads are getting served up to the right people. And then you can see here that they spent $35.20 total on this ad, and they ran it for 5 days. So there's a lot of different ways to do this, and do it successfully. You just kind of have to pay attention to what your competitors are doing. Like with this one, they did a retargeting campaign, and it tells you why. They want to reach people who visited their website or used one of their apps. So you've got, the retargeting campaign on there. They ran this one for 5 days, and they spent $5.40 on it. So as you can see, you're going to spend a lot less money on the retargeting campaigns and also on the audience insight campaigns. But you can also see here they targeted specifically the United Kingdom with this ad. So again, it's all about insight into how you're going to craft your very unique strategy. So now let's say you want an ad notification every time somebody posts an ad about social media as a newsfeed ad. Okay, so now you'll get an email every time somebody posts an ad like that, so you can go in and dissect it immediately. And you can stay on top of different trends that are out there. You do the same thing with the newsfeed mobile. So again, you'll get an email anytime somebody uses that as a keyword in their ad, or target somebody who's interested in that. So it's very important with that. You can go in here and follow your competitors. So, if I wanted to follow Hootsuite as a competitor, I can look this up, and then I can follow them to where I get information every time they post a new ad as well. So it's pretty simple for you to do that. Another way of doing this is targeting by interest. So I'll show you how to do that. So my audience, the people that I know I'm going to sell to, are typically going to read things like Social Media Examiner, right? They're going to be semi-tech savvy and kind of know how the internet works. So I want to follow Social Media Examiner and figure out what ads they're taking out as well, which are working and performing for them. And then to see the pages that I follow, I simply go here and I can follow these competitors and again get an email every single time they post something. This is where it can get really cool. So you know how I just followed the competitors in the last step? Now I can follow every single ad that they take out too. And I can see exactly what it is that's working for them, where they're putting their ads, and how they're targeting each and every ad that they're doing. So you can see here what they've done is they've done a whole campaign around the Social Media Marketing Society, right? So you've got, $50 a month, $4.97 annual, this week only, blah, blah, blah. So I've got all of this data that I can look at, okay? And I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, how did they do this? So what they did was, here's their landing page, here's their fan page, here's how long they ran the ad, what country they targeted to, and that's pretty much it, and how much money they spent. So now I know that if I want to run a very similar campaign that gets similar results to this, I know how long I need to run it, I know how much I need to spend, I know where I need to put the ads when I'm setting up a Facebook ad campaign, and then I know kind of what's hitting online as well. So it's important for you to be able to know these things and dissect them, but also know you generally are going to have to take out more than one ad. So I know that on one ad, I'm going to have to take out a minimum of $76.80. But I also know that going down here, I'm going to also look at, okay, what else do I need to do? I'm going to have to take out another ad for $28. I'm going to have to run that one for 5 days and put that one in the newsfeed. Is all this starting to click a little bit? I hope so. And here's just yet another example where it's telling you exactly where ads are being placed to get this type of engagement, the ad rank, how well it's ranked out of other ads, and then how many days that ad ran in order to get the engagement that it did, and the total amount of ad spend. So this is a huge decipherable that you're not going to have to stress about when you're thinking about, oh, how much money do I need to spend to get these results? It's all laid out for you 100%, which makes a huge difference when you're taking out any type of Facebook or social media ad campaign. Now, before I get into audience insights on Facebook to actually show you how this is done, I'm going to tell you a couple things. if you're coming from a standpoint of you're just starting out a new business, you're just doing a following on Facebook, you're just now starting it, you really need to do targeted interest. And in order to take the mystery out of that, you do need to upgrade in your dashboard. So you simply just click on your options here, and then you go to upgrades. And on the upgrades, you're going to want to purchase the target interest, because this is going to give you the keywords that are performing best in different niches. So for example, you'll go here and you'll say, okay, I want to target United States. You know, I want to target firefighters. I want to target nurses. And it's going to give you all of the best interests to target for that ad. And it's going to tell you the best age ranges and the potential reach for an ad. So using this with Adsviser, you know where to put the ads, where they're going to work the best, whether it be in the news feed or in the mobile news feed, and you know how much money you're going to have to spend on each ad. But if you're coming to this brand spanking new and you want to hit a niche correctly and target interest so that you can do those higher converting retargeting campaigns and those higher converting lookalike audience campaigns, that is going to be very important for you to start. So yes, I highly recommend that as an investment. Now let's talk for a quick minute about audience insights, okay? So you can click on this from your page, and it's going to give you different insights on all of your different pages. But to get to audience insights, I'm going to go here, especially if you spell it right. So here's how you're going to get to your audience insights page. On the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to click on Ads Manager. From this dashboard, you just click on Ads Manager and then go into Audience Insights. From your Audience Insights, you simply go everyone on Facebook, people connected to your page, or a custom audience. To create a lookalike audience, what you're going to do is do a custom audience. Then you're going to add your custom audience. So what I've done here is I've already uploaded a file. So I'm going to upload that email database, and it's already going to tell me who I'm going to be targeting using real estate agents as the market, essentially. So it's going to tell me exactly how I need to target this ad, but giving me the option of creating a lookalike audience with that. Now to upload your ads campaign, what you're going to do is scroll down here, click All Tools, and then you're going to go to Audiences. And this is how you're going to upload your email file so that you can use that to create a lookalike audience. The way you're going to do that is you're going to start with Custom Audience, and you're going to use a customer file. So you're going to either choose a file and copy and paste the data, or you can even import it directly from MailChimp. I save mine in a CSV file and then upload it. So all you're going to do here is simply add a new CSV or text file that you have. So if I wanted to upload, you know, a file like this, I would simply scroll to that CSV file and click Next. And that would then create my custom audience so I can create an ad in Ads Manager that's going to be a lookalike audience to that text file to help improve conversion rates. So that in a nutshell is how you do that and how you use that both with Adsviser and then the targeted interest list that you can purchase from us. So if you have any other questions, please let me know, but I hope that's been helpful.